Okay, so I wasn't planning on filming this video here, right here, but I decided to, because it's my last day being in Ohio. I'm leaving right after this in about 30 minutes, and I'm post-op 5 days from my surgery, and I feel good. I'm a little bit out of breath, but I feel good. And I'm just going to share with you guys a really quick recap of my trip here, and as much as I could film of what happened, and then I'm going to sit down and I'm going to share with you about why I made this decision, because it's not about what. I'm not just sharing this just to share it with you guys. I'm sharing it because I believe that this message could really help young women and young girls. And I did it for myself, but I'm sharing the message for other people. All right, so it's August 5th and we're getting ready to go. So now we're packing up the car and we are driving to Ohio. So we're all checked into the Airbnb. Last night we checked in, and tomorrow morning is my surgery.
It's Pocahontas ahead of us, or Pocahontas.
All right, so it's the morning of surgery. It's August 7th and it's about 8:30 right now. I'm gonna stretch and I'm gonna enjoy stretching and lifting my arms over my head and doing all my stretches for the last time for a little while, for a few weeks. All right, so I'm all ready to go. I'm just waiting for my dad. He's in the shower. I'm excited. I think I'm gonna get really nervous when I walk into the surgical room, but right now I feel good. I feel really anxious to just go, and I'll see you guys when I'm out.
This is me getting my food ready. I have my scarf on, and they gave me soup and salad, so I can have a little bit of, I can put my arms down and up, and I can feed myself.
This video isn't going to be about my experience of surgery, but if you guys have any questions, if you're planning on having the same surgery, or if you have any questions at all about that, then just message me and I'll share all the details with you. But I'm just going to start from the beginning. So first, if you read this title, you're probably wondering what plastic surgery in the first place that I've had and what I reversed. So I'm going to share that with you guys now and just start from the beginning. So I'm 27 now. When I was 21, I decided to get breast implant surgery, and I had a really good job at the time. I literally just had the money sitting in my bank account, and I think that was obviously an easier way for me to just go ahead and make the decision to do this. But it's something that I thought I wanted my whole life. I went from, I think, a 32B to like a full D, or like a Victoria's Secret, like double D. And everyone was telling me that, you know, I didn't need to do it and all these things. But for me at the time, because I was just really highly insecure, I genuinely remember thinking that this is something I wanted my whole life, and that after I have this, then I will be perfect and I'll be like Barbie, and there'll be no reason for like the the men that I date to want to leave me because I'll be perfect, which is embarrassing to admit out loud, but that's really what I thought at the time. And so, you know, so I did that. And then the second thing that I did is I got my ears. By the way, I can't use my arms. I'm like strapped down right now because I can't lift my arms for 2 weeks. Anyways, so then I got my ears pinned back a little while after that. And my ears were something that I justified because they were always really sticking out, and I got made fun of when I was young for them, and people would ask me if they could take a ride on my ears and things like that. And so that's how I justified getting my ears done. And then now I'm 27, so the last couple of years I regretted the surgeries that I had because it just didn't feel like me anymore. And I really the reason why is because I started doing the internal work on myself, and I started to love myself and accept myself for who I was, no matter what flaws I felt I had. And so that's why it didn't feel right for me to have the surgeries anymore. But I was like, well, there's nothing I can do about it because I did it already. So what can I do? So I decided to reverse the ear pinning. Luckily, my surgeon didn't remove any cartilage from my ears. He just pinned them back. So this one is completely back to normal. This is how my ears are. This one still has a stitch left in it. I can feel a stitch behind my ear holding my ear back. So that's kind of annoying because I have to go back and get it removed. So in this fall, I'm gonna ask if they can give me one more surgery and just take the last stitch out of my ear, and then I'll be back to how I was born and how I was made to look. But it's more about the explant surgery that I'm talking about. I just wanted to share with you that I had 2 plastic surgeries and then I reversed both of them. Technically, this one is still underway, but I mean, I'm almost back to normal. So the biggest one was the explant surgery. So with the implants that I had, I regretted it, and I would try to wear things that didn't really like show that I had them. So a lot of people didn't know. Also, a lot of people didn't know because I already had boobs before. So it was kind of more difficult to tell. And yeah, so basically, well, actually what I wanted to say is that, no, actually, okay, sorry. I'm gonna tell you first about why I decided to get explant surgery. So back in January, I went to Florida with my parents, and it was really cold out during that time. So I was sitting inside all day, and I had a lot of time to think and spend time with God. And I was given so many downloads and so many revelations during that time. And I stumbled across a post from Yolanda Hadid, like Bella Hadid's mom, saying that she removed her implants because of breast implant illness, which is a real thing. And I looked into it, and I realized that I did have mild symptoms of it. So I was developing symptoms from it, but they weren't debilitating to me. But I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna remove them. And then I came across this post of this model in Toronto, and I saw a video of her, and she has beautiful long hair. I saw a video of her shaving her head, and she was smiling and shaving her head because she found out that she had breast cancer. So she was going through chemo, so she shaved her head, and she's so beautiful, and she was shaving off all of her beautiful hair, and she was so happy to do it. It's like when I saw her doing that, I just realized that she wasn't placing her value in her exterior beauty, even though she looked beautiful anyways without hair. But it's just the fact that it was for her health and it didn't matter. And I don't know why, I just started crying when I saw that video, and I felt God speaking to me and telling me to look into explant surgery and that I need to remove them. So I did a lot of research, intense research, because that's how I am. I just go all out. Did a lot of research. I watched so many videos, I'm part of so many Facebook groups. I looked into so many different surgeons, and I decided on this surgeon, Dr. Lu Jean Fang in Cleveland, Ohio. And I called them in January to book my surgery, or February, sorry, to book my surgery. And the earliest appointment they had was August. So now today, I believe, is August 11th. And I had my surgery on August the 7th. So I prepared my body, you know, to get ready to have my explant surgery, and there's so much that goes into it. They remove your implants, but they remove the capsule, they remove all the scar tissue that's also giving you health issues. And Depending on your age, I didn't get a lift because I didn't need one because of the time I only had my implants for 6 years. And because I'm young, my skin just goes back to normal. So you'd be really surprised that your body does bounce back. And if it doesn't, she'll know and she'll give you a lift. Anyways, but at the time, I didn't even really care. At the time, I just wanted to be myself again. And I felt so inspired to just be myself again. And so the main thing that I wanted to share about this is that I thought that changing my body by getting implants, by getting my ears pinned back, that finally I would feel perfect and I would feel happy and whole and confident. I thought that this was my answer. And I just wanted to share with you guys that it doesn't change anything. You actually, if you don't like the way that you look now, if you change yourself with plastic surgery and you're not changing the inside, it's not going to change anything about the outside. And in fact, because I was unhappy with how I looked on the outside, I changed the outside. I didn't change the inside. I was unhappy. I then changed the inside, and then I was unhappy with the surgery that I did because I was like, I don't need this surgery. I never did. And this might, I think that a lot of people they might disagree with this, but I personally don't believe that anyone just says, so everyone says, this would make me happy. If I were to get this plastic surgery, this would make me happy. It's just something that would give me confidence. I understand when people say that because that's what I said. That's exactly how I justified it. I can even remember where I was standing when I told my parents I was getting the surgery and how I justified it. And it was totally normal. I just said, yeah, it's just something I've always wanted my whole life. Why is it something I've always wanted my whole life? Because that's what society had shown me was the ideal beauty standard. That's why I wanted it. So when people say, I'll be happy when I get that, yes, you might think you'll be happy because you are conforming to the beauty standard, but the beauty standard is an illusion. So that's why when people say, just do whatever makes you happy. I'm not for that. And I'm not making no judgment on people who have plastic surgery because clearly I have, right? So I make no judgment on people who have had it. This is not to make anyone feel bad if you've had plastic surgery or that you need to reverse it or anything like that. It's just about doing the work on the inside if you've already had the surgery. I lost my voice, by the way, because of the breathing tube that was down my throat for like 2.5 hours or however long the surgery was. Anyways, so yeah, it's not a judgment at all. I completely understand wanting the surgery. But it's not your answer. I just want you to know it's not your answer. And in the Western world, we know, what beauty standard we're shown in different celebrities and how so many girls are starting to look the same way. And in Europe, women are just so different and they actually embrace their natural beauty and they don't wear as much makeup and all of these things. So I just wish that our society could be more like that. And I know that that's probably not even possible because the beauty industry is just too big, but at least individually we can do our own part. And we can say, before we decide to get this type of surgery or any surgery to change your body, we can look at ourselves and say, am I doing this because this is going to make me happy? Am I doing this because I think it's going to make me happy because the world tells me this is how I need to look? Because I truly believe that the way that we were born is the way that we were supposed to look and the way that we're supposed to be, and it's perfect. And I really just, I just feel very anti-plastic surgery now. So many girls have said to me that they wanted to get implants, and I feel like I've talked a lot of them out of it, not by even trying to talk them out of it, by just telling them, you're gonna find imperfection in your surgery. I found imperfection again in my implants by saying they don't look exactly how I want it. It's never going to be good enough. If you look at different celebrities that have gone through so many different plastic surgeries, it's never enough. It's never going to be enough because it cannot fill what's inside of us. My camera's overheating, so I'm going to end this, but I wanted to end with this quote. And it says, "And I said to my body softly, I want to be your friend. It took a long breath and replied, I have been waiting my whole life for this." So yeah, I just wanted to share with you guys that you're perfect the way that you are. Please, 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 please take it from someone who really did not like the way that they looked and would desperately do anything to change it, and it didn't fill anything. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And if this is a video that you think could help someone, then please share it, and I'll see you guys later.